Inside SportCheck's flagship location at West Edmonton Mall, Tom Gazzola alongside the head coach of the Bakersfield Condors, Gerry Fleming. Gerry, it's always good to see you. Always nice to catch up. You're in town to take care of development camp as I guess the 2016-17 season truly winds down. It seems like these hockey seasons just go on and on and on. What's it going to be like dealing with the prospects, and what do you try to get out of it?
Well, first of all, it's always a lot of fun, putting a face to the name. I think that's important. A lot of guys that you know the name, but you don't know the face. And, I heard you mention earlier that it's not an evaluation, but you're always kind of seeing how guys do, but it's more of an educational week for the guys. Just, some guys, again, you mentioned earlier about not living with a billet and coming home and having to cook your own meals and not really knowing how to cook, some guys. So a lot of it's educational, how to deal with the media, social media, on ice stuff, what the Oilers are looking for as far as fundamentals, and just trying to instill those fundamentals with guys.
You're right. It's kind of a stark reality for some of these guys. How have you kind of seen things evolve in the hockey world when it comes to that? Because I don't know how long orientation, rookie development camps have been a thing, but from the time maybe when you broke in as a pro to what we see now, how much has it changed?
Well, it's evolved, no doubt about it. Everything evolves, from equipment to nutrition to the way the guys deal with themselves. There was just this pendulum switch a little bit towards the end of my career with guys, starting with personal trainers and training all year round. I think when I finished playing, we didn't get back at it until, maybe the end of July, where now guys basically are going year round. They take a little bit of time off and they wean, on and off throughout the summer. But, there's a gradual progression that as you're getting closer to camp, you start to intensify your workouts and get a little more on the ice. But, it's, with social media and, just information being available for guys as much as it is, guys are taking advantage of it. So you can see guys coming into camp now ready to go right from the drop of the puck, whereas when I played, and I hate to look back at when I played, but when guys played, it took you maybe a week or 10 days to get acclimated again and get up to speed, but that's not the case now.
Let's hone it in on this particular camp, because in the past 5 years, it's gone from a development camp to being called an orientation camp, where there's less emphasis on the ice, more so off the ice, to back to being called a development camp. What are these guys going to be getting this week, and what's the focus going to be like for you guys?
Well, they're just going to be getting, like I said, a lot of information, a lot of educational stuff that they can apply to their own lives, not just in hockey, but off the ice too. So it's a good week for them to get to know some of their new teammates, just to see how the Oilers approach things. We'll give them one day specific as the day in the life of an NHL player, and we'll go through that whole routine on game day. So basically a lot of education.
This camp's in Jasper. What's it like taking it out there? Because we've been there a few times now over the last few years. What's it like just getting them out of Edmonton, taking them up into the mountains and doing it there?
Yeah, I think it's a great idea. We've done it now. This is my second year going up to Jasper. I thought it was so well received last year with the community up in Jasper, people coming to the rink and watching, and fathers bringing their daughters, mothers bringing their sons, whatever the case might be, to watch the guys out on the ice. But it's been great. I think having the guys just focus and there's no distractions up there. It's just hockey and the things that we want to talk on and work on.
Let's switch gears. Let's look at your team. When we last talked to you, it was when you played the outdoor game in Bakersfield. It was a great event, an exciting game in the rain, which was a crazy, crazy scene. But, I mean, at that time, you guys were towards the bottom of the standings, and then you made a big push towards the end. I know you didn't ultimately make the playoffs, which is a disappointment, but what kind of shifted for your team, or what spurred this push towards the playoffs and the emphasis on winning some games?
Like you said, a lot of it stems from that game. We were down 2-0 going into the third, and we came back to win that game in overtime time with Griffin getting the game winner
on a breakaway of all things.
In the rain, there were so many elements to that game that I'd never experienced before as a player or a coach. So.
I don't think anybody did, really.
Playing in the rain was quite a unique event. Like it was really, it was something special that you'll never forget. But at that moment, I think we got on a roll a little bit. Our goaltending got hot. We got some stability or continuity in the lineup, and I think that's important too. So we just went with it. Obviously, a little bit disappointing at the end, going on the road for the last 6 games of the season. We came up a little bit short, and that's always disappointing. But you know, for the most part, we had a lot of guys that had a lot of success by when they got called up here. They came up and performed relatively well. And at the end of the day, that's what we're here for. We're here to help the Oilers get these guys ready so that they can contribute and come up and play well.
Finally, talking about preparing your team for its opponents this season coming up, you know, what will it take for the Condors to make a push and, you know, get into the playoffs finally in Bakersfield? Because you did, you know, come up just short, but you had a good push towards the end of the season. How's this season setting up for you guys?
Well, like most teams, Tommy, I think that you know, you need consistency with your lineup. You got to stay away from injuries. That's a big part. You know, your goaltending, your defense, everybody's got to come together, and you just have to stay consistent throughout the season. You know, you can't have any highs or lows. You just got to maintain and focus on the process, and you know, do what you have to do to get in. Really, at the end of the day, it's about guys competing and guys sacrificing and laying it all on the line. So. You know, that wasn't the question. I think guys, you know, laid on the line every time. When we had a great group down there, and it was disappointing that we fell a little bit short. But next year's another year, and our goal is to get in the playoffs and do some damage.
Who are some of the guys that rose to the occasion and that you'll be leaning on this coming year?
Well, we have a lot of turnover this year.
Yeah.
Like obviously, Anton Lander was a big part of our hockey club last year when he came down. You know, so we've got some new faces. We've got a lot of young guys this year. We're gonna, you know, sprinkle in some free agents, and we'll go from there.
Gerry, always a pleasure to catch up with you.
Always, Tommy. Thanks for having me on.
Hey, anytime. Gerry Fleming, head coach of the Bakersfield Condors.